morning, everybody. Everybody. I am getting this down fairly well. So, I'm not this fast. Maybe I need to do a longer intro, but I just feel like, no, I'd be bored. Not that you'd be bored, baby, but I'd be bored. I don't know if I could do a longer intro. It just seems ridiculous. But I obviously, that's my chair. I obviously am not having enough time to maybe 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds. I need 5 more seconds. Every day and every way. Growing. Good morning, Judite. How are you this morning? We are live. I'm trying something new today. I am trying, Kimmy Corpse, good morning. I'm trying Javi coffee. So if you've been interested in the Javi coffee and you've seen it on the internet, I'll do that for you. I'll test it and let you know how it is. It's a protein coffee. I drink coffee anyways, but I like to make coffee my way. Mr. Grode, good morning. But this is Sarah Dobby, good morning. So my friend has been using this Javi coffee for a long time. And it's supposed to have all these really good things in it. And yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Now, this will break a fast, from what I understand. If you are doing intermittent fasting, this will break your fast. So here you go. Let's see. I'm kind of scared because it's gritty. That's not bad. I got the chocolate one. So what I did have to do, though, and like anybody really cares about the coffee, but what I did have to do is I had to put it in the blender because it had a mat of powder on top of it, and it wouldn't sink. No matter how much I stirred it. So it's almost like a cappuccino, though. So it's not bad. I would tweak it a little bit. Like I could put some tweaks in there, I'm sure. Good day, Johnson. Good morrow. How are you today? But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. So this is the Javi coffee. Javi protein powder. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if it goes with all my systems today, and it's fine. So this morning in my walk, I was listening to a podcast that really, really resonated with me. But as I was listening to the podcast that really, really resonated with me, I realized I was doing some things. And this is why we tell people, watch The Secret. Watch The Secret more than once. Watch it once a month. If you feel as if you're sliding, if things aren't going quite the way you want, watch The Secret again. It's not a one and done thing, because manifesting in our life is not a one and done thing. Our thought processes are squirrels, you guys. Who on here can say, my thought process goes randomly in different directions, and all of a sudden I've bought a UTV, utility vehicle. Okay, that's on my list for the day. Okay, because finer than a frog hair. That's where that's my rabbit hole for the day, is I'm looking at utility vehicles for the farm. So our brain has a habit of going all these different places, and it's very hard for us to stay right here. And do you know why that is? Anybody know why that is? It's because we are geared to take in a lot of information, and especially if you have something like ADD or ADHD. Oh my goodness, I'm absolutely ADD here. I'm not ADHD, but ADD definitely. There goes my man on the tractor. Hopefully he doesn't come in and ask me to do anything. We worked on the round bale. See, look at this. We worked on the round bale yesterday. You should see me out in the field with a wrench. I might have dropped a bolt this long onto my husband's face because he was laying underneath the baler, and it fell, and I adjusted something, and it fell out the hole and landed right on his face. I'm only smiling because he didn't get hurt. I felt horrible. Absolutely, words are so important. So when we're going through our day, right? When we're going through our day, pay attention to your verbiage. I'm plugging in my Fitbit. Pay attention to your verbiage, because when you are saying no or can't, or putting, yeah, it was an ouch moment. I felt really, really bad. And then something else fell, but that wasn't my fault. But he was a little gun shy after that, so he does have all of his teeth still. I was really worried. Um, so pay attention, you guys, on how you are not just talking to yourselves, but how are you resonating? Because that sets in your energetic field. You'd love to live on a farm. It's a lot of work, Sarah. It's a lot of work. So, like right now, we're bringing in hay for the horses, and that'll be stored up for the winter. But because we're lazy today, we're putting it in. We have to clean the barn out, but we're just going to put it in so it doesn't get rained on. And then we're going to have to bring out like 40 rolls of hay and clean the barn again. It's never ending. It's the truth. Okay. So even our random thoughts about other ourself, our health, resonate in our field, and it stays there. It stays there until we do something about it, like until we ground, until we maybe do some healing for ourselves, do some Reiki, do some sound bowl healing, even if you have a Tibetan bowl that you can just ring and sit in that energy, right? There's these little chimes I want to get into the store, and they are 4 by the door, and you walk by and you hit it, and it creates a healing energy around your door area. So when you walk through that energy, that sound, it automatically heals your energy. There's so many different ways we can heal our energy, heal our vibration, and bring about change in our life. So when we have, oh gosh, and it's so hard. And my mother-in-law doesn't understand why. I guess she does understand, maybe. She used to be pretty spiritual, and then she fell down into and not that this is just don't take this as a blanket statement. This is her. She fell into rabbit holes so deeply that she is entrenched. And if you have a conversation with her, generally you're going to go around to something along all those lines. Now, but she knows with me. Good morning, Jada's Secret 13. She knows you have bells by your door, and I believe this just occurred to me. I believe that's probably why witches put bells on the doors. And we call them witches, but pagans put witch bells on the door. I didn't think about that. But now I have, and now I must get them in the store. Where was I? Okay, so squirrel. So Linda knows that I cannot take a lot of conspiracy theory. And matter of fact, a lot of people that I'm around know this. I can't take a lot of it in because I take it in, and I didn't realize how this worked until this morning during my walk. And I'm listening to this podcast about how we transcend into the fifth dimension while staying right here and living in that love vibration of not just ourselves, but being okay with everything everybody has to say. And as you raise your vibration, you become more, your emotions are out there on your sleeve, and you become more into the things that you are listening to. So I had about 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't freaking know, fallen into being so emotionally attached to the workings of the government and elections and politicians, and it hurt me. I mean, I was physically having an issue because I was so deeply emotionally invested in everything that was going on that I had put myself out there in that energy, and I had a hard time bringing myself back out of it. So that is why I stay over here on this side of all the conspiracy theories. Now, will I listen to them? I absolutely will. I will open mind, listen to them. And I have my own thoughts. I'm not saying I don't have beliefs. I'm just saying I don't place my emotions in them because they lower my vibration. And God knows I don't need that. Chances we trained our dog to go potty outside by pulling the bell on the doorknob. Yes, the bell training. I always wanted to try that. I haven't done it. So, have you guys found something in your life that you can put a pin in the wall and say, this did this to me? This brought my vibration down. And guess what? It doesn't have to be a thing. It doesn't have to be the government. It doesn't have to be the conspiracy theories. It doesn't have to be some of the negativity that we have going online. It can be somebody. And I will never, ever, ever tell anybody. I've lost a lot of people on this conversation because they're like, I don't, it's an uncomfortable situation. It's an uncomfortable conversation because we, like, as our subconscious likes to stay right here and stay in the easy and the calm that we already know, right? So when we hear something that says, but I like my aggravation, and they go, I like my aggravation. I like my stress. And I bet you know somebody like this. They like the drama. They're the first one to call you when they have an issue with somebody else. And it's rarely their issue. It's not them. It's somebody else. They have a problem with somebody else. And then they let that resonate in their energetic field. And before you know it, their energy is lower than what it should be. And what does that do? If you're on track with them and you're like, yeah, bitches be crazy, then all of a sudden your energy comes down too. Oh my God, I am just talking. Does this make sense to anybody? Because this is what happens when I start channeling. It's just like I start talking really quickly and I just start talking about the things that are on my brain. So what really resonated with me this morning as I was walking was the things they were talking about that I'm experiencing. And let me know if you're experiencing it too. Uh, the feeling of displacement. Like, I just feel displaced. I I know there's something coming. I know I'm not who I was 2 days ago. And I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. I just know something's different and something's changing. Now, is it global? I hope that enough of us come together to create global change. But I believe this is my change going on in this moment as I am lifting myself up out of some old patterns, right? Yeah, definitely know those people, right, Brooke? Penny knows somebody. Yeah. And Penny puts a good point out here. I've I've seen that happen to a friend of mine. When I tried to help her, she quit talking to me. And why? Because it's an uncomfortable thing for people to move out of their natural patterns. When they have an energy resonating in their pattern, and that negativity is what fuels that, that's where they're going to stay. Spiritual Alchemy Energy, the podcast with Julia. Good morning, Julia, from California. So, as people are falling into that pattern, and you say, "Hey, here's a different way." Vicky Roop, how the hell are you? As you say, there's a different way. That's scary for a lot of people. Good morning, Samantha. It's scary for a lot of people. And I hope that we can look at ourselves and say, okay, am I afraid of the change? Is that what has me in this rut? Is the fear of change what's keeping me right here between the lines? Or am I ready for expansion? Because that's what I was realizing this freaking morning as I walk in. I went, holy crap, Lisa. Talk the talk, walk the walk. Because I started to think about, as I'm listening to this, some of the things that I have been saying that have been coming out of my ever-loving mouth. And I was like, what is wrong with you? What's the secret? What is wrong with you? Vicky Roop, wonderful. Wonderful here. I'm glad everything's good there. So I've been bitching about menopause, like constantly living in that energy of ugh, right? So as it's walking back this morning, this is what I decided. as I'm walking back this morning. Screw menopause. I am going to become supernatural, and I'm going to sit down and watch some Joe Dispenza, and I'm going to figure out how that functions in the body, and I'm going to visualize it, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to change the things that I'm not liking about what is going on with this aged body, with the meat suit. Because the meat suit and the soul are totally different things. And I know that the soul is infinite. It can change all sorts of things. And I'm going to create that change. I decided that. I am going to find out what the physicality of it looks like, and I'm going to create change because I've been bitching about it. And although yes, it is challenging. It has been challenging. I think that it is also something I've been helping resonate within my own energy system. So it's time to create some change. So this is something to think about. What can you change? What would you like to change? And how do you go about creating those first steps? Right? Preaching, teaching, not preaching. Teaching, not preaching. That's what we're doing this morning, right? But I had been living in that energy of this is the new normal. And it isn't, because we're ever changing, right? Spirit Alchemy Energy says, yeah, but scary. My change is having to call people out on their BS and stand up for myself. It's hard, but I have to practice. Absolutely. Oh, and the BS generators out there are profound, aren't they? It's fabulous. There's so many of them. Penny says we have been taught in some spiritual ways all of our life, and we pick things up along the way. So we know what we need. We just need to keep healing and raising our vibrations, even when it's a little uncomfortable. Absolutely. Jansen says staying authentically you is all that matters truly. You come into the world alone and you go out alone. So living true to you. There you go. Yeah. Yes, self-care, taking care of ourselves. Yes, we need to work on our own selves and figure out what it is. What is it we bitch about? What are the things? I will tell you, I am blessed every day in every way. As I was coming back on my walk this morning, because I walk on this old country road because people are crazy out here. They'll hit you. They 75 miles an hour down the road, and so I'm pretty leery. If they hit me, good luck, everybody. But I'm walking back and I'm looking and I see our farm and I go, you know what? Gosh, we are so blessed. There are so many people that would love to have this facility, this area. We used to breed quarter horses and paint horses, and when we got it, it was not what it is now. So we have grown it, and I just, as Sam was out working in the field, which that's his heart. He loves to be on the tractor. That is like his favorite place to be. I thought, we are so blessed. So count your blessings. Find the things that start your engine and go there. And ring a bell for yourself every once in a while. Clear your energy. Put on some shoes. I'm still healing from my new grounding shoes. I'm working on it. I didn't walk in them at all yesterday. I feel like this is something I have to work myself up to, because that I put these huge, like, they didn't blister, but I could feel I had created inflammation in my feet, and I don't want that. I've had foot problems before. I don't want it. Okay, so I don't know. I like that coffee. Yes, someone would be happy with less than what we have. Sherry Ann, aren't you so right? There are so many people. We live with grace here in the United States. Most of us live with grace and a roof over our head. Most of us. But, oh man, we are lucky. We are lucky. Are we done with me preaching this morning? TikTok is. Good morning, Ashley. Oh no, Shannon gifted this to me. It is the Javi protein coffee. And it's not the condensed coffee. It has protein and some other stuff in it, and it's a powder. I don't know yet if I can do that in the morning. If I can do that in the morning. But it's supposed to be good for you. We'll see. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let us do a whoop whoop in the room. Let's see who we have here. If you are new, this is how we do this. I do not have a list. I read for those that Spirit says, that person right there. And I go by the energy of your comment. So when I ask for a whoop whoop, it also lets me know who's in the room. And not going to tell you it's not true that it raises us up in the ranks so that more people comment, but it also lets me see who is in need of a reading and what they need to know. So if you can give me a whoop whoop, that'd be awesome. This morning I have a tremendous amount of lag, so please be kind. um, please be patient because there's a lot of lag. There's like a minute and a half lag here. So. I'm going to start with spiritual alchemy. I mean, that's a lot. Hold please. The meat suit's having a technical glitch. Spiritual Alchemy Energy, the podcast with Julie. We're going to start with you. The first thing I want to do is talk about your throat chakra. Holy cow. Holy cow. There's so many things to say. And I know it says you're a podcast. This has nothing to do with that. This is like, there's so many things to say here. Your throat chakra needs to be geared up. It's just a little muddy. So with it being a little muddy, I think that there's some things that you need to say. Good morning. If you guys have not liked the feed or whatever you do on your end, please do so. There's your reminder. But Julie, her name is Julie. Also, are you smelling overly sweet flowers? Julie, are you picking up overly sweet flowers? Like phantom smells? And once again, don't forget, we have lag. It's bullshit stuff and speaking your truth. It is something that you're holding back. It's something you're holding back. When I see an overly bright blue chakra for the throat chakra, I know somebody is like sharing too much. And when I see a muddier color, I know that somebody's not speaking enough. You're not smelling phantom smells. Okay. I'm going to tell you that if you do start picking up, like all of a sudden you smell something, you have no idea what it is, just know that is phantom smells, not flowers. Okay. All right. I usually start off with flowers because that's something people will notice more often. Just because they're like, what is that? It smells really sweet. So that they make it really obvious. But that is, and you probably already know this is clear aliens. This is the psychic clear smelling of knowing when someone is around you just by the scent that they have, like maybe grandma's cooking or grandpa smoked a cigarette or a cigar or something like that. So I just need you to know that there is somebody around you trying to get your attention. And there's somebody that also, I have to tell you, had a really good backbone. I feel like this is a woman. She had a really good backbone. And it doesn't have to be somebody you know, right? We had somebody on yesterday and it was mom and daughter, and somebody come across for the daughter and the mom was I didn't know the mom was there. She's like, oh my gosh, that's your grandmother, So that was really cool. So it doesn't have to be somebody you know, but I do believe it is a female. And she wants to talk about, this is so funny. She wants to talk about Disney. It doesn't mean she was a Disney fan, but what it does mean is she wants to talk about stepping out of the norms. And she gives me Song of the South, which, has been blackballed. It's a wonderful, wonderful Disney movie, but it is looked at a little bit differently. It was a wonderful piece of art when it comes to the animators. They did a wonderful job of blending animation and human interaction. But they're talking about the bluebird on your shoulder. Like, how do you move forward in joy? How do you let go of the things that aren't serving you anymore and really start to use that? Once again, the bluebird has to do with the throat chakra. They're so obvious. Sometimes, right? So they're saying, hey, it's time to start really stepping into your grace. And this person almost wants to be like, step into your grace. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It's Is it fear? Because fear is when we're living in fear and not doing what our soul calls us to do, what we feel the urge to do, but are stepped back from because it just, who's going to really say right or wrong for you? The only person that can do that is you. So the fear that's holding you back from moving forward in whatever you're doing in life is self-inflicted. Sorry. It's self-inflicted because nobody else's opinion matters. Nobody else's opinion matters. Living according to other people's opinion is almost like torturing yourself. Okay, so I will pull you a seed because you are absolutely, every day, all day, a star seed. A star seed. And they want to pull from this deck. You're not resonating the way you should be. You can't make this shit up. All right, I have absolute lag right now, and I'm sure it's going to catch up here in a moment. It says that the last time I had a comment was 3 minutes ago, and I can tell you that's not true. I know it. I've been doing this a while now. I've been doing this several years, and I know lag when I see it. Okay. So it's talking about not finding your vibrations. Not finding your vibrations. Hey, right? In the loving compassion that this card talks about, Glenn tells me I need to, Glenn tells me I need to turn the camera around so that you guys can read this, but I don't know how to do it. So reading backwards is a skill, y'all. Loving compassion. This is for you. Once you bring this energy into your own field, you're going to start raising everybody else up as well. That's what you're here for. You're here to be a magnet. So step through the bullshit and get going. Step through it. Move it. Get going. You're doing a great job, by the way. I need to tell you that. Good morning, Cindy Nordstrom. Good morning, Maria. If nobody else tells you this today, Julie, you are doing a wonderful job. Somebody wants you to know that. All right. Hope that helps. Moving on. So, can we get a whoop whoop in the room? Let's see who is here. I do have to work today, but not for a little bit. I have to go figure out why my laser's not working. I haven't done that yet. Holy cow. You guys probably could not hear that. It's so windy here that the whole house shifted. And I can hear crack, 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 crack. You called out your therapist not helping me and quit that crap. I am not a doctor. I do not prescribe anything, but I do prescribe. I do suggest, if it were me, turning inward, talking to your spirit team. Do you have a team? Who has a spirit team? Like a group of people that when you go to meditate, you know you're going to feel the warmth and the contact and the guidance. And I need to get back into doing this so badly. And it's part of my thing today. I need to get back to my spirit team because I have a massive amount of trance mediumship coming up. I know that. And I need their expert guidance. Okay. Check in with them. Moving on. You have a franchise. I love it. That's fantastic. I love that. I like the way you put that. That's great. Okay, let's go with Brooke. Brooke, I am going to try your last name. Robichel? Is that it? Did I get it right? I have a thing. I want to make sure I pronounce everybody's name correctly. And sometimes they're difficult. Like that's a difficult one. Robichel. Is it Robichel? Robichel? Something like that. Okay. Brooke. What is that? I need to tell you that Archangel Michael follows you very closely. When I am working with Archangel Michael, when he steps into the room, my bottom lip vibrates, and he immediately does that for you. He's like, I didn't get it. Damn. Well, I tried. Archangel Michael is, of course, always a protector. I don't want you, but everyone gets it wrong. It's annoying. What is the topic of the day? Diana, I can't even tell you because I talked and I don't. Rebicel. Okay, thank you. I talked and you know how that goes. Okay, talking about vibrations and raising yours, something like that. Okay. So Brooke, when I don't want you to think of Archangel Michael as biblical Archangel Michael. Okay, I want you to think of pillar of the earth, one of the beings that was present when the divine created everything. And I'm not talking about the origin of the Bible. I'm talking about the everything. Okay. Um, this is a being that is. I look at archangels a little bit differently. Who else looks at them as extraterrestrials? Anybody? Anybody? Because I do. Having worked with enough extraterrestrial energies and having seen, gosh, I just kind of put myself right out there on the having worked with extraterrestrials. You know, guys, I never would have thought I'd say that 20 years ago if you looked at me. Okay, maybe 25. Wow. And I'd said, I work with extraterrestrials. I'd have been like, I'd have been one of those low vibe people. Sorry. But having worked with the goddess Artemis and been on some wonderful excursions with her, we'll put it that way, I have seen Archangel Michael and other archangels standing in alignment with extraterrestrial civilizations. Like, you guys do you want me to put it out like actually how it happened, or do you want just the roundabout sweet way like that? Because I can tell you how it happened and what I saw spontaneously, or I can just wrap it up in a bow like that and just leave it there. So I don't want you to think about that. I want you to think of that's so funny because we have some really high vibe people on today. They want to. I hear a song intergalactic planetary. I don't. I know it. I know the beat of it, but intergalactic planetary. I don't know the song. That's all I got. So they want to go there. They want to go. Why are you? And this is the image they give me. Like boom, 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 in and out, in and out. They're like, 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're cold. You need to start gaining some consistency. And we are all one, right? Everybody kind of freaked out and quieted down. They're like, extraterrestrials, probe and die. No, that does not happen. Well, I'm sure it does happen. It does happen, but not with the guys I work with. No. Anyhow, they're. He's having so much fun out there. It makes me happy. They're talking about the ebb and flow within your heart chakra. The ebb and flow within your heart chakra is where they're at, Brooke. And also, do you work intuitive? Are you an intuitive worker, Brooke? I try not to ask a lot of questions, but I mean, I do of a group, but I try not to ask individual questions of a person. But oh yeah, I gotta do that. I'm curious. I have curiosities because you're not reaching your full potential. I don't know if I can do this coffee all the time. I don't even know if I can call it coffee. My lag today is significant, you guys. I'm so sorry about that. Lily Killface. Okay, good name. It's because of their vibrations. That's why we call them extraterrestrials. Absolutely. We're all one. We are all one. Did I lose Brooke? I know. I know, Jansen, right? You're sitting over there tuning in, aren't you? Hmm. I have questions. Coffee, it's not really good coffee. It would be interesting to see the relationship between the cedars of this earth and archangels. It is interesting. Okay, she says definitely at times I feel like I can feel his presence in a way. This is how much lag I have. And I definitely believe he's with me. And yes, but times I don't stay consistent. Okay, so intuitively. Okay, so I'm going to say this. I really think that when you find your consistency, I think that your ebb and flow like this is, and this is obviously the thing today, is based on um I want to say fear, but it's not exactly fear. It's just this trepidation of, do I want to do I want to do that? Kind of like that. Okay. And I have to tell you, this is so normal. It is so normal. Um, because as we learn our intuitive side, we're trying to let go of the things that we've been taught, right? And I don't say Great Aunt Gertie said you can't do this. What I'm saying is society has shaped this illusion of how we're supposed to be functioning, like how we're supposed to be. And it obviously has to do with society, because what looks normal for us here does not look normal for us in India or Japan or Australia or Ireland, right? They have their own normal, we have our own normal here. We're in a collective energy that's right here, right? So we have we have to start realizing that there is no normal. We're all unique. We're put here to be unique. So when you start flexing your own uniqueness, you are going to soar. And I mean to say, because I think you're going to be doing what I do, but more. Okay. You're a medium. Absolutely. You're a medium. I don't know if you catch a lot of, and this is such a blanket thing too, but it's also validation. So the more validation you get, the more you'll be able to flex that muscle. And when you're catching things out of the corner of your eyes here, do me a favor and don't turn and look at them. Just talk. Okay? If you're catching shadows over here or over here on the floor, like it's pets or human-sized people walking by, and you see just shadows, doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing. Don't turn to look at them. Just talk to them. Now, why is that? Because when you turn, the physicality of your eyes is going to remove that energy. You're not going to see it anymore. The energy is going to still be there, but it's a different wavelength than what your eye can handle. But the peripheral vision can see spirit a whole lot easier than directly on. So when you catch this, have a conversation. Is she there with you, Jansen? Is she like there with you? You know who Brooke is? Do I know who Brooke is? Has Brooke been in the store? And no way he said this, because I do see shadows and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, just have a conversation. You know how close we are to the other side, you guys? We are just a popcorn fart away from the other side. I'm going to turn, I'm going to phrase, I'm going to patent that one. Yep. They are just a light wave away. Just a vibration away. Isn't that amazing? Sophia Aurora says, I think I saw a fairy when I woke up once. Girl, that is so cool. Don't eat with them. Don't dance with them. Don't piss them off. Fairies, fairies, man, fairies. Okay, I have a fairy moment. She is my cousin, not with me right now. Okay, I have a fairy moment. I had a moment in my life. I was so mad at my mom, so mad at my mom, and I absolutely had fairies in the room in Texas. There was podcasts, fairies in the room, and not podcast, just what we do here. And my father passed on September 28th in 2022. Honest to God, I had a camera and it was in my room. It was it's as expensive broadcast. It's the only kind I buy for these kind of interactions like this, right? Put it in my bag. My mom was rushing me out of the house. It was the last time I was going to be in my dad's house. I had sold it and I had just moved all of his possessions out of it, and I was really, really struggling. And my mom wanted to get to a party in Ohio. So I was pissed and I didn't talk to her the whole way home. Anyways, and I was just like, and I had a hard time. Anyways, so I could only blame it on the fairies because I was like, my camera come up missing. I know I put it in my bag. I know I put it in my bag. It wasn't in my bag. It wasn't in my bag. How was my camera laying in the middle of my bedroom floor the other day? Yeah. It's the camera from Texas. So that's what fairies do. That's why we don't play with them too much, because they take your stuff and so they say if you eat with them, you're never satisfied again, and if you dance with them, you're never rested. And they'll take your shit if you make them angry. And I was storming around my bedroom in Texas. I mean, storming around my bedroom because I was having to slam all my stuff into suitcases, and I was just angry. And that I couldn't find the camera. I was like, I actually thought I was so mad that I left without it, which is not the case because I knew I put it in the bag. But yes, just 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago in the middle of my bedroom floor here in Ohio. Isn't that crazy? So don't piss off the fairies. We try to keep them happy. That's why we may have fairy houses. That's why you leave them mead and whiskey and cigarettes, tobacco and stuff like that. Keep the fairies happy, guys. They're very mercurial. All of the elementals are very mercurial. But anyways, I digress. I must have been good enough they decided I could have it back. I don't know. I don't know. But I was like, I walked to the bedroom, I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. I really did. Okay. So Brooke, take some time to yourself. Give yourself watch The Secret. Give yourself some grace. Nicole Byer says, well, something similar happened to me and with my friend with mala beads. Yeah. See, this is how we go down rabbit holes. I just was watching something about lapis mala beads. I'm going to get them in the store and I need a set myself. I have a beautiful set of rosewood mala beads. But I want to get some lapis and work with them on something I shared on Facebook not that long ago. Anyhow, so Brooke, look, keep it between the lines. Give yourself some grace. Relax, breathe, and listen. Not just talk, listen. Okay. Had some weird dreams last night. Not gonna lie, they were weird. I woke up kind of pissed because I was like, I don't even know what you were doing in my dream, but why are you here? And I have he's not been around for a while. I have an ex-boyfriend that, I mean, old. I was 17. Okay. I have basically been with Sam most of my life. I've been since 12, and then we broke up for like 8 months, and I had a short little boyfriend in there. And what he unalived himself, and then persisted in taunting me from the other side. And the reason I found out he unalived himself, this is years ago, was I was sitting in the living room and I got this, hey, you should look up XYZ. And I went, why? But I did, and found out what he did. And that awareness brought him into my energetic field. And then it took me a while to get rid of him. And how do you tell your husband this? How do you guys do this? How do you guys do this? Hey babe. Hey babe. I'm just letting you know that that guy that you really don't like from high school, like he's in my energetic field and he won't leave me alone. And he's giving me these weird dreams and you're not gonna like it. Yeah. And he goes, what kind of dreams are they? And I'm like, baby. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But then him and I came to terms, not Sam, but him and I came to terms. And I sat down in a meditation and I talked to him and I'm like, why are you here? Like, why? Why are you doing this? And he's like, I just needed you to know. I just needed you to know that I'm here, that I'm around, and that I was a part of your life. And I honestly 100% know this guy was part of my life. He changed my life in a short little time because he told me I wasn't enough. He told me I wouldn't amount to anything. He told me I couldn't follow my dreams and complete the things I wanted to do. So I did that and I did more. And I know that that is because I said this the other day, I'm very competitive. Don't tell me I won't own my own salon, that I won't make enough money, that I will be dependent upon somebody. Don't tell me those things because, yeah, right. Happened to me a couple weeks ago. Jansen says this happened to her a couple weeks ago, and telling Adam was weird feeling because it almost feels like you feel like you're cheated because they're like, this dream I had this morning. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Absolutely, seriously, 822, absolutely. But he was in college and he was like a math genius. And he was so smart and didn't have a lick of common sense. Not a lick of it. But he was so smart. And he made me feel stupid. And of course, he didn't mean to do that. But I really don't think he meant to make me feel stupid. Because he didn't have a mean heart. He just, we were very poor. We had nothing. Uh, my parents, he looked at my parents and looked where we lived and he just decided about me. It must have been easy. I don't know. I really wasn't, but so and that's just one of those things. But he unalived himself. And I caught him in a dream this morning. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Even in my dream, I'm like, what are you doing here? Yeah, sometimes that people that smart have no common sense. None. None. Like stupid stuff. I grew up on a farm. Give me a stick shift. Fine, I'm happy with that. I like a stick shift better than an automatic. And he went and traded it in. Oh my gosh, he had a beautiful Nova, Nova lifted in the back. It was gorgeous. Even before Novas were cool, it was cool. I loved that car. He traded it in for a Ford four-door Fairlane. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And it was a stick. And he didn't know how to drive a stick. He ripped the transmission out the very first day he got it. He was trying to take me out on a date and he wouldn't let me drive the car because he could do it. And he was going up a hill and he ripped the clutch out of it because he wouldn't let me try. Men. It's not a lick of sense. But anyways, so whatever. Sometimes when we have spirit come across, we're like, and I'm really seriously sitting here today going, this is why we're having this conversation. Why? Why are you here? What? But it very well, dang it, may have to do with some of the epiphanies I've had this morning on letting go of old stuff and preconceived notions about people and why they were in our life. Right? See that epiphany happen online? Because even though he told me things that thank God I didn't believe, he was a catalyst. And instead of feeling bad for him, I should still say was one of my best influencers and friends on this human existence. Oh my God, my husband would just freaking melt. Hey, we farm girls know how to fix stuff with duct tape and bale and twine. I don't know if you're here. Dinah was out in the field fixing a round baler with Sam yesterday, and I dropped a wrench on his face, or a big huge bolt. Oops. He was under the baler, and I had the wrench up top, and the bolt, and it slipped, and the bolt fell out, and it just went right, clocked him right in the mouth. Big bolt, not a little bolt. Big bolt. Curious, had he aged or matured on the other side? Yes and no. I don't know how else to put that. Like, his face was the same, but his energy had shifted. Like, his energy was just, here I am. No, he didn't chip a tooth. I couldn't believe it. Oh, God, it hit him so just, he rolled and took off. I said, oh, shit. But no, seriously, at 22, his energy was different, but his face was the same. And I only saw him sleeping. Weird. I don't know. Have a great day, Vicky. All right, can I have a whoop whoop in the room? Poor Sam. No, and then I dropped something else, but he rolled quick enough, and it was a big piece. It was a big piece of the baler and the swing arm, and that's twining. And anyhow, so he rolled quick enough. But he was really, really leery after that. Like, he was really gun shy. Didn't do it on purpose. Gonna get a whoop in the room. All right, let's go with my lag is much better. We're gonna go with Nancy Ray. Nancy Ray. Do you clench your jaw? Spiritual rambler, I like that. Nancy Ray, do you clench your jaw? Do you do that when you're sleeping, or do you have to relax? What is it here? No, Nicole Byers, no, we didn't. So Diana was asking if the bolt hitting Sam in the mouth broke his tooth. It did not. Kind of like stacking nails. If they back truck and slide out the tailgate and bounce up. Yep, all I can say is I'm okay. Have a great day, Jansen. Sometimes you need to pay attention to what you're doing when you're doing that, right? Are you what your stress level is? They're talking about bringing your stress level down. Oh, there's the husband. He must be done. They're talking about bringing your stress level down. I'm online. Just let him know. I know he has clothes on. Yeah. He's outside. And? I was just checking. I just let you know. So you didn't come in. It was coming in naked from the field? No, you're not coming in naked from the field. But it could be any manner of conversation coming out.
Yes, we know. I'm a naked farmer. Hey. All the neighbors love seeing all this.
Go on. Go get a glass of water. Okay. Poor Ashley. Ashley's joined. Poor Ashley. Okay. Farm life. Good times. Working on it. So just knowing what is triggering your stress, Nancy, is going to help you quite a bit. Okay. Worrying is not going to change anything. Worrying just brings in more worry. Bringing that worrying about other people and their reactions to what you have or what you don't have, or what you're trying to do in life. That's not going to serve you. You have to start letting go of all that stuff and be a little bit more positive for yourself. Be more visual when it comes to what you want in life, not what you need. We never ask for what we need. We always ask for what we want, and we move in that direction. We are put here to be prosperous. We are put here to raise up and have all of the things we want and need. Want and need. We need to pay the bills, but we don't have to be in that space. We want to be abundant. We want more than just paying the bills. We want more than just worrying about other people's opinions and other people's what they have, because a lot of times when people have lack, they go to other people and they bitch about having lack.
Sorry.
Right?
Getting
So
warm out there.
you don't have to get wrapped up in their windy. You don't have to
I'll
get
take the
wrapped
wind.
up in their garbage. Just let it go. You can be an ear, but you can also be an ear, but you can also allow it to leave as quick. What are you doing? I love you. Yes, prosperity for everyone. You get prosperity, and you get prosperity, and you get prosperity. Everybody gets prosperity. So let go of that and stop procrastinating on a bunch of shit. Put your feet forward, do the things that you need to do, and start creating change. Hey, no, TikTok don't care if I say shit. They care if you say a bunch of other things, though. Yeah, you can't. No, you can say that.
What?
Yeah, you say it all day long, but don't say anything like nothing else, like nothing. Oh boy, that was a good one, right? That had great resonation. Okay. And this is the card that ends that one, Nancy. And I'll read it to you too. Be happy with the results of your actions.
Be the ball.
Be the ball. Be the ball. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Can I get a whoop whoop in the room?
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, you didn't mean in this room.
I love you.
Wow. Didn't sound very convincing.
It is.
Kind of, yeah, I love you.
Watch this. Wait till I tell you who showed up in a dream this morning.
Jim?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Ooh.
Yes, I am wearing my necklace today. Absolutely. You're very welcome, Nancy. I hope that's helpful. Let's go with...
Stop tapping. Oh my God.
Seriously, 822.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh.
Hi, Nicola. Nicola. Weird way you can feel the energy. I know, right? You all right? Y'all done?
Oh, Hayes in. I gotta go tend to chickens now. Didn't lose any more quails, so that's a good thing.
Good. Quail are stupid. Okay.
Well, it got pinched in there, so I moved the water last night and it won't happen again. Cute little shits.
Seriously, 822, I would like to talk about... Trying to figure it out. It's like just behind the eyes. Such a weird thing. It's like my eyes are tired. Are you doing too much screen time? Like my eyes feel like if I'm in the evening and I'm working on the computer and the light's not on, it makes my eyes hurt. Like that kind of fatigue.
Who are you reading for?
Seriously, 822.
Okay.
It feels like a lot of exhaustion. You too. Okay. It's time to start. Oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm not telling you, if it were me, I'd start cutting my screen time back a little bit. Overstraining your eyes, if you get any kind of headaches, things like that, they're tied together. So they're saying make sure you take care of that. And also this has to do with your sinuses. You're avoiding life. You say a lot in that 3 words, right? Want to come over here?
I don't like this screen.
Well, this is, yeah.
I know why.
It's the TikTok screen.
Yeah. My hat back on.
We're talking about a lot of indecision in life. And talking things out to solve problems. There's things that you need to be working on, and they can be held. It can be done with a gentle hand. I need you to know that it doesn't all have to be done at one time. The things in life that need to be straightened out can be done so with grace.
You know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. When things seem so out of touch, out of reach, the only way to get there is one bite at a time.
Cindy says he looks like my husband. Oh, trust me, there's only one of these. And seriously, A22, when it comes to working on problems, if somebody's casting stones at you, they have to look. They should be looking in the mirror, right?
They're projecting their bullshit.
Yeah, there's a lot of that will happen or might happen, but just go in with grace and it'll be fine. And you need to be working on your successes, following your joy, your successes, and not worrying about anybody else's bullshit. Follow your success. Follow what makes you happy. And it may not be what makes other people happy. And that's just...
And it doesn't have to be. Just remember their problems is their problems.
Absolutely. If they don't like what you're doing, somebody doesn't like what you're doing,
show them the door.
That's their problem.
Show them the door.
We're not telling anybody to leave anybody or divorce anybody or anything like that. Right. But we're just saying...
I'm saying it works for you. To work like a work colleague.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, throw your hands up and be like, I can't change their mind. Or I can't change that situation for that person over there. I can only do what it works for me. And that is where you should be tending garden, is right there where you are. I am blessed to have my husband here this morning. He had to take off work to do hay. I could have done it, but I didn't want to.
I love you. And I'm sure that you absolutely could have. But I would have probably had to restack everything because I wouldn't like the way you did things. You know.
You're ending vicious cycles. What you're doing, you just have to take the first step. You got to take the first step and really get in there and just tend your own garden, let everybody else's bullshit fall away, and lift your own energy up, and you're going to be good. I have baled hay before.
I didn't say you hadn't.
Granted. The machinery and the hayfield caught on fire.
Well, there is that little.
But
there's that little.
It wasn't my fault. Oh, Diana's laughing about the bolt to the face. I did not say it in a laughing manner.
What the hell?
I might have, but only because you're okay.
Hit me. I mean, it literally squarely hit me right there. It was a freaking 3/4 inch guided bolt. And it's like, bam. And that thing, shit, the bolt's that long.
She says, unreal.
Felt like it weighed 100 pounds.
Unreal that you said tending garden. I'm laughing and crying now. Bunny ears for your husband.
Wow.
Bunny ears.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, because that's not something normally I would say. So, yeah. All right, y'all. I hope this was helpful. I hope you liked and shared and all the good stuff, because I didn't say anything about that. And I'm going to let you go because I'm going to sneeze really badly. And it's a violent sneeze. So I'm going to let you go.
There's going to be stuff all over the screen. You don't want to see
I know. It's just... All right. I got to go. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Find light, find love, find joy. Feel divine because you are. There's Glenn. Bye, Glenn. And if my
Where's
husband
Glenn?
were here,
Where's Glenn?
Brody Grayman.
Okay. Broody Gaiman?
Broody Gayman.
Okay. So
Your line. Where's your
broody.
line? Where's your line?
He's broody.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Uh, uh,
May the
May the light be with you always.
All right,
Oh
guys.
my God.
All right. Bye. Bye-bye now.
I couldn't get
Bye-bye.
off the broody.